Hello everyone and welcome to a MicroCasting St. Louis live stream. I'm here with Daniel Penrod from Penrod's Weather. We currently have a large, violent, and extremely dangerous tornado on the ground. This is currently impacting near the Lynchfield area. Oh my god, and now we got my, oh no. Okay, now you're hearing this twice. There we go. Now it stopped. Oh my god, and now we got my, but yeah, Black Ops 2 already on the stream. I currently have, couple of viewers, it looks like. But yeah, we have a large, violent, and extremely dangerous tornado on the ground. I'm here with Daniel from Penrod's Weather, and we'll hear his thoughts on the current situation.
Well, we already had 8 tornado reports just today. That's already just absolutely blowing my mind. And to be honest, I wasn't expecting anything above an EF2 tornado. I was expecting like maybe a small spin-up tornadoes that usually don't last that long. Maybe it'll touch the ground for a couple seconds and then just fly back up. But it's a completely different story. Now we have a large, violent tornado on the ground. I think near Springfield, just southwest of Springfield. This tornado, hold on, I don't have. Let me see here real quick. I want to know when this is in. Hold on. Hold on.
All right, here. While he's looking at that, let's take a look at the current tornado warning. This is a tornado warning for South Christian County in central Illinois until 5:30. At 4:39, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located there. Source radar indicated rotation on this particular warning. If we take a look at the one below that, though, we see this is a particularly dangerous situation. A confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was moving towards Lawrenceville. If I take a look at this, again, here we are with this dangerous tornado. So we have a very dangerous tornado right now. If you are in the following cities of Auenwitzel or Assumption, you need to get to cover right now because this is a very dangerous situation. Again, this is a very dangerous situation, an observed tornado on the ground, large and very violent.
We also have a hail core. I'm looking at your live stream through YouTube. That looks like a pretty definite hail core on that. I wonder what size hail they're getting out of that. Oh, it actually says right here, greater than 0.75 inches.
Yeah, and below that it says 1.75 is the current diameter according to the weather warnings. I'd give that a solid 2 or more inches.
Yeah. If you are in, and you already mentioned some of the cities, Willys, Palmer, Taylorville Airport, or Vanderveer, you need to be in shelter right now. This is, again, a confirmed large tornado as on the ground. This is moving to the north and to the northeast at about 30 miles an hour. It was located near Raymond, or 9 miles north of Hillsborough in Illinois. And again, it's moving to the northeast at 35 miles per hour. If you're in the path of the storm, whether you're in the path of the tornado or the storm itself, you need to be underground in the basement. If you do not have a basement, please go to a bathroom, get in the bathtub, make sure you cover your head, get into a sturdy building. You do not want to be in mobile homes, any trailer parks. They will get blown away by the tornado. If you are in a car, pull over to the side of the road, and you have one or two options. You can either get into a ditch on the side of the road, or you can put your head down and lay face down, like in between your legs, with your head up against the steering wheel, and cover your head with some type of cushion, like a pillow or just something that you have in your car. A blanket would actually probably work in this situation. Maybe a small blanket you could just put over your head just to protect your head from any flying debris. And the most dangerous thing with tornadoes is the flying debris. Isn't that right, Thomas?
Yeah, that would be a true statement. Flying debris is the top killer of most people in tornadoes. People get impaled with debris. Debris is what breaks windows. Debris is what can allow you to basically die. Like those trees that get ripped up from the ground, those are dangerous. Those can plow into houses and destroy them. There's all kinds of things that debris can do that a tornado without debris could not.
Now, my other worries would be on that cell just to the west of this tornadic cell, where it says tornado possible. There is some good rotation within that storm.
Yes,
just
there is.
East of Chesterfield, They're reporting about a 68-mile-per-hour wind gust.
Chesterfield, Illinois.
Up along. Yeah, Chesterfield, Illinois. There is a pretty strong, pretty good rotation in that system. Wouldn't be surprised if that went under a tornado warning as well. And this is not the only tornado warning in the Illinois, or in this region. There is tornado warnings all over the place. Up just north of Springfield near Peoria. There's a tornado warning for this county right here.
I didn't realize that there was a city called Normal. Apparently there's a Normal city.
That's funny. There is also a tornado warning for Lincoln, Illinois. This is for central Mason County in central Illinois. This goes until 5:30. At 4:42, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Kilbourne, or 7 miles south of Havana, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. Tornado and quarter-size hail. Impact flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to rooftops, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is also likely. And what they don't say in that is that power damage is actually likely with this as well. So a lot of people could lose power to tornadoes. That's obviously something that's just a given right there. And if you're in the path of this storm, you need to be taking cover. The locations impact include Topeka, Poplar City, Forest City, and Goofy Ridge. You need to be in shelter right now as well. And that's that cell just to the north of Springfield. That is under a tornado warning. There's 3 more tornado warnings right there. They're probably just going to say the same thing just for the different cities around there. So if you're in those 4 tornado warnings that we just mentioned, you need to be in shelter right now. If you're under that severe thunderstorm warning, though, you need to be on high alert, because there is rotation within that system, especially on the eastern side of that system. So please be advised that this severe thunderstorm could turn into a tornado warning at any moment. So definitely have to keep an eye on that. And again, we already had 8 tornadoes reported. Wouldn't be surprised if we get a few more in before it is all said and done. Let's go over to Thomas now. I think he has the latest on radar and also updates on anything that I did not already tell you guys.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So first of all, I do want to apologize for not being able to go live later today. Family circumstances did prevent that. But right now, if we do talk about this, first of all, yeah, like you said, we do have that possible tornado right here. There's quite a bit of rotation with it, like you said, and this severe thunderstorm warning is going to be remaining into effect for quite a while. If I take a look here at the official information, they're saying that this is going to last all the way until, at least let me take a look, 5:30 p.m. So at 5:30 p.m. that will expire. We do have these 2 tornado warnings right here as well, and those are both looking dangerous. It looks like the large tornado has dissipated, and now only radar indicated rotation is really showing this tornadic activity right now with this storm. A confirmed tornado up north, no longer within the St. Louis area, but still something important to see. If you are within the city, Forest City, Green Valley, or South Pekin, you need to be in shelter immediately. But yeah, I think a few more severe storms are possible today, and I definitely think that there is plenty of energy and plenty of stuff in the atmosphere to create more tornadoes.
Yeah, definitely something we have to keep watch of here. Just with the sun going down too, this is something that's going to get really dangerous, and the instability doesn't just fall off when the sun sets. It takes a little while for the instability to fall off, but with the sun going down, it's going to be a little bit harder for those storm spotters to track where these tornadoes are headed and where these tornadoes are. And we kind of have to be dependent on radar, because all these tornadoes in the dark are kind of hard to see unless they're like right in front of you, and you can hear it and see the power flashes from the tornadoes ripping up power lines. But again, with it getting dark, it's not very safe to be out and about. We want you to be in a building. If you're in these areas, we want you to be in shelter, and we would advise you, if you're in the Illinois counties, to stay in shelter until we give the all clear.
Yeah, that would be a true statement. Here we are. Yeah, I do apologize about audio issues. According to Jack Juke Scott, there were some audio issues. I hope that those are a little better now. I think I fixed them up a little bit. But yeah, this tornado watch does remain in effect for quite a while yet. We do have a good amount of time before that does go out of effect. But still, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. That's going to remain in effect until 5:30, and we do have these two tornado warnings. These are no longer within the National Weather Service of St. Louis's responsibility, and technically are not within my area of coverage, but if you would like to cover those, you most certainly can. If you'd like me to cover those, yeah, just let me know. But yeah, the only real warning right now within the St. Louis area is this severe thunderstorm warning, and that's going to remain in effect until 5:30. 1-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds, and a possible tornado are all parts of this. I'm going to shut down the typical radar and turn on what's called NexRad Pro. This is industry-leading technology. This is actually technology that even people at your local news don't have access to. This gets radar data faster than any other source on the planet. So, yeah, I mean, you're in for quite the treat here. So here we go.
I'm also seeing, and I don't know if this is actually development, I'm on Radar Scope. I can see your radar from the YouTube live feed, but I'm on Radar Scope right now, and just north of Gasconade County and just over Warrington County, there seems to be some storms trying to fire. It's just southwest of Hannibal. It looks like they're trying to fire. Don't know if they're actually going to be able to get very strong with the sun setting, but something we definitely have to watch. There's also a couple of showers and thunder showers forming along the Mississippi River, just to the north of St. Charles and St. Louis. So definitely something we have to watch, and those will be pushing to the north and to the northeast. We also have cells just southwest of that severe warning cell that are starting to pop up. So definitely something we have to watch. And these little bitty cells, you can see, how big the warning cells have already gotten within the past 30 minutes to an hour. So we do have to watch these little cells that just follow or tail these warning cells. Again, something we definitely have to keep watch of. But with the sun going down, that instability is going to start to go down as well. So that's good news. But for right now, we still do have warnings that we have to take care of.
Yeah, so the sun is setting, and I have a feeling we might get a couple more of these warnings before this stream does end. But yeah, I mean, definitely the storm's calming down. The peak of the storms was what we really just witnessed. I did my best with social media updates, but I am glad I'm able to go live at this point. This is kind of historic. This is in the month of December, folks, remember. This is not your typical spring day. This is in the month of frickin' December. So it's quite historic. We could have a historic tornado here that has occurred today within the St. Louis area. That would be crazy. And yeah, tomorrow or so, I will let you know on social media if I can find any footage of this big tornado and if the National Weather Service does give it a rating.
And something I do want to point out, this time back in 2006, we just went through a crippling ice storm. So it's kind of ironic that about 12 years ago, we were with about an inch or two of ice on the ground, and now we're dealing with 12 years later, severe thunderstorms and tornadic thunderstorms.
In 60-degree weather.
Yeah, in 60-degree weather. So it's something that's kind of, really, really interesting to look at. That's what makes St. Louis, kind of one of the funnest places to predict weather, because you don't just have certain seasons. St. Louis just has, its own seasons, and they will just throw it at you whenever St. Louis wants to throw it at you. They'll throw you summertime weather not that extreme, but you get what I mean. Summertime weather in the winter. You'll get tornadoes in the winter. It's pretty much severe weather season doesn't really stop for St. Louis. It just kind of keeps going, and it will always find a way back.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing right now. The hook echoes on these storms are really well defined. That is a true statement. Yeah, we do have some well-defined hook echoes on a few of these. If I actually go to level 2, this can give us quite a bit more detail on these storms, and here we are. This is going to get more detailed. I'm going to activate the live scan stuff, so we just got a brand new scan in there. But yeah, you can see there's a really good hook echo on this guy, actually. And yeah, there's actually some pretty good stuff here. But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy what we've seen today out of this severe weather. I had issued a low risk, I think a moderate or even a high risk on my scale, or an enhanced risk on the SPC would have been justified today, wouldn't you say, Daniel?
I mean, I wouldn't say like a high risk. I would have probably put it at like an enhanced or moderate risk. But I think I've done a pretty good job of keeping, on my side of things, I've done a pretty good job of forecasting the storm. I had a few flaws, but definitely I think we both done a good job on forecasting the storm. And when we say tornadoes were top priority, we weren't kidding. So we had a lot of felicity yesterday on the models. We looked at a bunch of different things on the models that were kind of pushing towards that we could have a couple tornadoes today. And there were, some models that said, it could have been on the Missouri side, but it's been mostly on the Illinois side. And just at about 12:30 last night, the slight risks had been pushed east into Illinois, and that's when I knew that, the primary threat for tornadoes would just be in Illinois, and Missouri would be left with pretty much maybe a spot shower or a thunder shower. I mean, maybe a severe storm at times, but Illinois is getting hit the hardest out of the system, so we definitely have to watch it. Still 8 tornado reports. No reports coming in through the National Weather Service. I think that tornado is still on the ground, if I'm not mistaken. It does look like there is still rotation within that system.
Yeah, not 100%, but likely that tornado is still on the ground. Again, not 100%, but still likely. So I do have a new radar scan coming in right now, and we'll be able to see new data as soon as that scan does finish. And there we go, the scan has now finished, and we do see 1-inch hail likely within the thunderstorm, the severe thunderstorm warning, and 1-inch hail likely within the thunderstorm with the tornado warnings on it. A PDS tornado warning in effect for Morrisville, Illinois. Is that up here? No, it's the observed. PDS for Morrinsville. Is it PDS now? Yes, a confirmed large and violent tornado. Yeah, this is, so that damaging tornado is still on the ground. They've updated it from radar indicated to a large, violent, particularly dangerous tornado.
It looks like, sorry to cut you off, but it looks like that hail core over Morrisville has weakened just a tad from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, it has weakened a tad bit here. And we are also, we're still seeing, though, that large tornado.
And with that's probably going to be a rain wrap tornado. Yeah. Is there anything saying about rain wrap on the reports? Because that rotation's like right in the center of all that rain. I wonder if it's rain wrapped.
Yeah, I'm not seeing much at the moment. If I turn on storm reports, those are loading in right now. Yeah, we do have a tornado report here, and this is from the fire department saying that there is a large tornado on the ground at this time. It looks like storm spotters also have seen this tornadic activity as well. But yeah, a very dangerous situation. If you are within Southern Christian County, if you are in Southern Christian County, you need to take cover now. You got tornado warnings in I think the entirety of Christian County, actually, except for the southeastern side, should be taking cover now, if I'm being quite frank with you. A new radar scan is coming in right now. Here we go. This is how many tornado reports I've gotten. So I've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 2 funnel cloud reports. So it's a total of 9 tornado-related reports and a total of 7 confirmed tornadoes today.
That's insane.
Seven.
For this time of year, that's
7 confirmed tornadoes.
That is insane.
That's just not something that you see. Willie, the weather guy, saying this is a very dire situation. I would not disagree here, folks. This is not a good situation at all, as we do have tornadoes moving through today. Again, Daniel and I both said tornadoes were the primary threat today, and that is exactly what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely correct on that part. I'm just kind of watching the sky here, making sure that nothing pops up in my area.
Nothing's popping up in Hillsboro, I promise.
Yeah, I'm down at DeSoto, but
DeSoto. Sorry.
Hopefully nothing's popping up. But I'm still watching just east of Columbia because I still think that we could get a couple storms out of that system.
Yeah, let me turn on Cape and see if there's any Cape there, and that'll really just answer a question of the potential for these.
We might.
So the Cape that they're getting is about maybe 100. The Cape that we got in St. Louis is about 1,500, and these tornadoes are in 1,200 to 1,300 joules per kilogram territory.
Hey, put Duke in his cage. Okay. I have to leave. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good.
I have to leave.
You're good, man.
I will be back in a little bit. If you're still alive, I will join. Sorry, guys, but I have to leave. So Thomas is going to be on his own for a little bit. I'm Daniel Penrod with Penrod's Weather signing off. Have a great day, everybody, and be safe out there.
All right. So that was Daniel from Penrod's Weather, and he has been doing a really good job on these live streams here. But yeah, we do have a confirmed tornado. This is outside of my viewing area, but just barely outside of my viewing area. A large, violent, and particularly dangerous situation in southern Christian County. Again, that is a large and violent tornado in southwestern Christian County. We also have a possible tornado with 1-inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds in northern Macoupin County, and that's going to be there for quite a while as well. So northern Macoupin County is looking like they might be in some trouble. But yeah, again, a large tornado is on the ground. This is crazy, folks. We're in the month of December now, and we're seeing large tornadoes. Something that is a little concerning to me is we have very high Cape values right down here, and we do have those storms starting to fire up. So if those do manage to fire up, we could get a few more tornadoes down south of this tornado watch. If we take a look at current mesoscale discussions, I think that could be definitely a good thing. So yeah, we'll just have to see what exactly does happen. Yeah, here we go. So this is what we're currently looking at. I had to shift back over to level 3 data. I apologize. But yeah, this is what we're looking at. So if you take a look at mesoscale discussion, none in effect at the moment. At least it doesn't look like there are any at the moment. I'm going to go to the SPC. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, please feel free to let me know, and I'd be more than glad to answer those. Yeah, it doesn't look like there are any mesoscale discussions at the moment, at least that do pertain to the St. Louis area. There is one south here concerning this tornado watch. Brian Jordan Freeman's got you covered if you're in that Florida area. But yeah, right now it looks like this cluster of storms is my responsibility. But yeah, again, if you do have any questions, comments, or anything like that, feel free to let me know, and I will be more than glad to answer those. Moderate rotation here is detected within this storm, and again, a confirmed tornado. Let's go through this warning. At 4:53 p.m., a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located over Mooresville, or 10 miles northwest of Nokomis, moving northeast at 35. This is a particularly dangerous situation with a damaging tornado. This is a radar-confirmed tornado at this point, apparently, although there has been a storm report. Looks like some redevelopment occurring in northern St. Charles County. I would not disagree with that. We're getting these storms here that are really starting to fire up. This is where you got a lot of Cape, and because you got a lot of Cape, you can definitely see these are probably going to continue their development as they do head up north. I wouldn't be surprised if that means this tornado watch is extended. But again, we'll just have to see. That's where the peak of the Cape is, but I'm not 100% sure what else there is. But still, again, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tornado reports today, at least recently, which is crazy to me. Excuse me. Alright, the tornado warning north of this one in particular has just expired, and here we go. Oh my goodness. Here we are, breaking news. A tornado emergency has just been issued for Taylorville. Again, this is a tornado emergency that has just been issued for Taylorville. This is a catastrophic tornado right now that has just touched down. Again, the National Weather Service describing this as a catastrophic tornado. This is a very dangerous situation. Again, a catastrophic tornado on the ground. This is at least EF4 to EF5 at this point, folks. This could be one of the most dangerous tornadoes we've had in the St. Louis area in a very, very, very long time. If we take a look here, Train Spotter saying that, yeah, there is a tornado on the ground. And yeah, I mean, again, we are just seeing a crazy, crazy kind of thing at the moment. A tornado emergency is in effect. A tornado emergency. So here we are. This is in the purple. This is, again, a tornado emergency. I'm going to read this out right now. If you're in the following cities, you need to take cover right now. If you're in Taylorville, Stonington, Blue Mound, or Harrison, you need to take cover right now. Right now, I repeat, if you're in the cities of Taylorville, Stonington, Blue Mound, or Harrison, a tornado emergency is in effect for your area. The National Weather Service in Lincoln has issued a tornado warning for Central Christian County in central Illinois. This is a tornado emergency for Taylorville. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Hazard now being described as a deadly tornado, and it says that you are in a life-threatening situation. Flying debris may be deadly to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be destroyed, and considerable damage to homes, businesses, and vehicles are likely, and complete destruction is possible. This is a very rare situation, Willie, the weather guy just said, and this is a true statement. Again, to repeat, a large and extremely dangerous and potentially deadly tornado is on the ground right now. To protect your life, you need to take cover. This is the words of the National Weather Service. Again, catastrophic damage now being described by the National Weather Service is what this could do. So again, a tornado emergency is in effect right now. Again, that's a tornado emergency. This is something that we haven't seen in the St. Louis area in a very, very long time. And here we are with a new one. A new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Springfield. If you're in Central, Middletown, Broadwell, or Lincoln, or Hartsing, you got 1 inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds. But again, a tornado emergency is in effect right now. If you could share this with your friends, let them know what's going on. Again, because this is a tornado emergency, that would be great, and it would really be helpful on truly telling what exactly this is has become. Again, that is a tornado emergency that is in effect right now just outside of the St. Louis area. And again, this is just crazy to me. But yeah, there we go. Again, this is a tornado emergency. I don't know how many times I can repeat that. This means that there's a confirmed large, violent, and extremely dangerous tornado on the ground. And again, the damage threat is catastrophic according to my weather software. I would not be surprised if we do see this tornado cause serious damage and be an EF4 to EF5. If we do see an EF5, this would be the first one. It would be just outside the St. Louis area, but this would be the first one in a long, long time. Storm spotters have reported on this tornado in a while. I'm sure Daniel Penrod from Penrod's Weather, when he gets back on here, is going to have a fair bit to say about this tornado emergency. Again, this is something that I was not expecting today. Again, that's a catastrophic tornado. It's possible on the ground. So again, if you are in Taylorville, Stonington, Blue Mound, or Harrison, you need to be underground right now. And here we are with Willie the weather guy saying that this hook echo does honestly look like the one from Moore, Oklahoma, and I have to say I do not disagree. Although my program did just freeze up. Bad timing. Bad timing. But here we go. It's unfrozen. But yeah, the hook echo on this thing is crazy. And I do agree with Willie on this one. A tornado emergency is in effect right now, and this is looking very bad. So again, this is looking very, very bad. I'm trying to get the radar back up here. It's not turning back on, so we'll see if I can get the radar to load in. This is the best radar I could get. This is national radar. It's a little bit behind, but it still does get the general premise across here. Again, if you're in Taylorville, Stonington, Blue Mound, or Harrison, you need to get underground. The National Weather Service actually has a list of cities. You should probably take it from them. So here we are. So locations that are impacted do include Taylorville and Stonington. Other locations are here. Funnel cloud just reported in Giggsville, Illinois. Is that up north here? Where Giggsville is? I would assume so, but I can't see it. Again, though, the main focus right now is this tornado emergency. Again, this is just nuts to me that we do have a tornado emergency right now today. Again, I don't know how to describe it. It's just crazy what's going on, and I don't think that there's much else I can say other than that you need to be underground right now, and if you're not, I'm going to be quite frank with you, you could die. You could die. This is a deadly tornado that's on the ground, and if you do not get underground, you could die. You could die. But yeah, at this point, a confirmed tornado is on the ground. Again, that's a confirmed tornado. A new mesoscale discussion has just gone into effect regarding this tornado watch, and it's honestly just crazy to me what's going on here. The fact that a tornado emergency has been issued is something that I was not expecting today at all, and is definitely something that definitely helps you just consider what kind of stuff we're getting ourselves in with here. I do apologize. It sounds like audio is an issue for Jack Juke Scott. I will have to see if something is up with that. It says the microphone's working just fine for me. Let me see. It says the microphone's working just fine for me. Yeah, I just went on the audio. The audio is fine for me. If you could tell me what the issue is, maybe I can help you fix it. Yeah, if we take a look at this observed tornado, again, this is a very damaging tornado, and we do have a new mesoscale discussion effective here. So here we are with two severe thunderstorm warnings, with 1-inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds, and then we have a tornado warning associated with now a tornado emergency that is here. Can you zoom out so I can see the whole area of the mesoscale discussion? I can do that right here. It's larger. It's right around here. Yeah, that's the area of the mesoscale discussion. You are welcome. But yeah, if you want to see more data on the mesoscale discussion, you can see it right here. So that's a URL if you want to see more of the mesoscale discussion that I've just put into the chat right now. But still, again, if you're in Taylorville, you are under an extremely dangerous situation. And one that I cannot, stress to you enough. This is a historic tornado. Let me make that very clear. From what I've just seen, this is a historic tornado. And something that needs to be definitely considered right now. Still, I mean, you need to seriously consider the fact that you should probably be getting underground if you haven't yet. Let's get away from this tornado emergency for just a moment. I'll be right back to it. And if we take a look at those storms redeveloping in St. Louis, and now the Storm Prediction Center giving a little bit of a farther south tornado threat, still most of it in the state of Illinois, with the city of St. Louis technically being within it. But yeah, still, again, this is the main focus right now is this tornado emergency, and that tornado emergency does expire. If I am not mistaken, let me take a look. The tornado emergency is in effect until 5:45 p.m. So we still got a good little while of this tornado on the ground before this emergency does go away. I have never been in a situation like this before where I was covering a tornado emergency. Willie, the weather guy, just saying, Weather Channel saying the tornado is northwest, just a few miles northwest of Taylorville. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what's going on there. Yeah. We are in quite the situation with this tornado emergency. Just crazy stuff. I can't believe this is happening right before my eyes. But yeah, looks like Taylorville is under the gun. A new report from fire departments talking about this tornado, saying that multiple power flashes have been reported. So this is indication many power outages are occurring. This is looking like a classic tornado. Again, this is looking like one of those classic tornadoes that we saw way back in 2013 with the Oklahoma tornado. If I take this off, actually, here's the current situation according to this. This has already gone over Taylorville at this point. So yeah, my radar just got completely up to date. This has been over Taylorville. This is well over Taylorville, and this is now farther up north. But still, again, this is a crazy situation with a large, violent, and extremely dangerous tornado that you just can't take lightly. This isn't one of those potential false alarms. I can guarantee you right now this is not a false alarm. You may not get hit, but someone is going to get hit by this, and they're not just going to get hit by this, they're going to get hit by this hard. And again, this is a tornado emergency that is in effect for the city of Taylorville, and this is going to be a devastating situation for folks over in Taylorville. Alright, if you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, please feel free to let me know. I would be more than glad to answer those. Again, I was not expecting to cover a tornado emergency today. But that is definitely what's going on right now. So with this crazy tornadic thunderstorm, I can tell you definitely there is probably a large tornado in there and that you need to be underground. The following areas are in the clear right now. That would be Taylorville. If you are in central or southern Taylorville, you are in the clear. If you are in northern Taylorville, do not get out of your basement under any circumstances. Even actually, I take that back. Central Taylorville, you should still not be getting out of your basement under any circumstances. If you are south of Taylorville, you are in the clear, and if you are in different portions of this, just south of there, like Morrinsville, again, you are in the clear. Fox News saying that the threat for discrete cells and tornadic threat will continue over the next 1 to 2 hours. That would be what it looks like is going on right now. Still, again, a tornado emergency. This is something I was not expecting to get to hear about today. So let's go over the other warnings right now. Here we are just north of Springfield right now. I'm actually impacting Springfield directly. We have 1 inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds. We also do have a possible tornado within this severe thunderstorm warning, which is going to expire here in just a little bit. I would expect that to expire. When does it say it expires? I can't ever find when it says that these storm warnings will expire. It says it remains in effect until 5:30, so this has got 1 minute left on it. This right here also has 1 minute left on it before it does go away. But yeah, still, I mean, this is a very dangerous situation, and I do pray for those in Taylorville that they will be okay, and I do hope that people down there do not have damage as bad as what I think this is going to be. I have a feeling that we are going to get absolutely devastating damage. Here we are with a hail report of about 1 inch as this storm does approach. It does look like the tornado within it is weakening right now, at least according to the radar observations I can make. But again, still a weakening tornado is what it looks like is going on right now. So again, it does look like we do have a weakening tornado at this point on the stream. So yeah, there we go. The tornado warning there just expired, and so did the severe thunderstorm warning. But still, I mean, again, this is at least for me a crazy situation. I was not expecting a tornado emergency today. If you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, feel free to let me know. I'd be more than glad to answer them. But yeah, the main focus right now, the tornado emergency with the severe thunderstorm being the other area of concern within my viewing area. They're actually just outside, but I'm still going to be covering them. Before we really don't have much to talk about here within the St. Louis area. So again, if you're within the St. Louis area, you got you don't got many issues right now. We just got this tornado emergency and this severe thunderstorm warning. But still, if you are in the city of Taylorville, Stonington, Blue Mound, or Harrison, I'd still suggest taking cover. If you're in Taylorville, I'll let you know when you're in the clear. Yeah, it's even more dangerous since it's dark outside and you can't see the tornado coming. That is a true statement. Yeah, this is a nighttime tornado. I forgot now, the sun goes down before 5. But yeah, this is, again, very dangerous. This is a nighttime tornado, and it's one that's definitely going to be remembered for a long time. A tornado emergency was put into effect for Taylorville. That is not something you see every day. Not something you see every day at all. But yeah, that tornado emergency is still in effect. We'll see if they do extend this tornado warning or even keep it as a tornado emergency. But yeah, I was not expecting to be talking about a tornado emergency today. This is honestly a day that I hoped would never come. That I would be talking about a tornado emergency. It's all fun and stuff when maybe covering the severe weather, but it doesn't get so fun for people like me and Daniel when we look at the aftermath of tornadoes like these. That's when it really doesn't get so fun for us. But this is going to go down in the history books as a historic tornado in the state of Illinois. And yeah, unfortunately, this has been given the life-threatening wording from the National Weather Service. Right, Black Ops 2 saying people in Decatur, Illinois should be prepared for a potentially dangerous tornado. That is a true statement. Let me track out the areas that need to be prepared right now because they could be getting a very dangerous tornado inbound here. So if I take a look at the storm motion vector here, this is moving at around 30 miles an hour, and if we just take a look at this real quick, these are the cities that could get impacted. Harristown, Decatur, Warrenburg, Forsyth, and Oriana are the current ones. That are here. These are the cities that need to be taking cover right now because there's a catastrophic tornado on the ground. So again, Storm ETA 606 for Harristown, 614 for Decker, 617 for Warrensburg, 623 for Forsyth, and 630 for Oriana. Again, those are the ETAs for this tornado emergency. At this time. So yeah, there we are. So, again, a severe thunderstorm warning. That lasts, we don't have any warning text on it. Wonderful. But that lasts, I think, until around 6 o'clock. Let me check here. But yeah, it's until 6 o'clock. Yeah, there we are with that situation. Still very dangerous. Still very, very dangerous. But yeah, Daniel Penrod from Penrod's Weather just telling me he's having to do something with him that's preventing him from being on coverage right now. But that's quite unfortunate for him. He's talking about how he's missing this tornado emergency. But yeah, I do want you all to know Daniel Penrod is thinking about you, and that he is also praying that everything is not as destructive as they say it's going to be for you people down in Taylorville. But yeah, it's still unfortunate. This is a very unfortunate situation. Very unfortunate, and something that I do not like to have to see. But yeah, again, a dangerous tornado. This tornado emergency has been shrunken down now significantly, still saying, and now they're saying this is a tornado emergency for Stonington. So they still have kept it as a tornado emergency, and they are saying that this is still a deadly tornado. And then it says this tornadic thunderstorm will remain over rural areas in Christian County. And so what happens there is, because you're going into more rural areas after that, they can't call it a tornado emergency anymore because it has to be over an urban population. But this is still a powerful tornado, at least from the information that I'm getting. So still a powerful tornado is on the ground, and a tornado emergency is definitely not something that is fun to have. So again, a tornado emergency is there. Like I was saying, it looks like the storm could possibly be recycling. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely plausible. I'm not 100% on that. But yeah, definitely a possibility. If we take a look at surface cape, this is moving into a lower cape environment. So it's almost getting into less than 1,000 joules per kilogram, which I think is going to mean this isn't going to be able to maintain itself for all that long. At least I think. And there is starting to become this significant cinch, and that could definitely not be helpful in the conduciveness for severe thunderstorms. Still, though, a tornado emergency in effect, and that is something I was not expecting to be able to say today. This is almost just outside of this tornado watch, but yeah, I mean, that's just a dangerous situation, and a situation I do not want to see any more tonight. I'm hoping we don't get any more tornado emergencies, but still, it's definitely plausible that we do get another big tornado before this night does end. Yeah, still, it's just unfortunate to see, really, if I'm being quite frank with you. It really is just unfortunate, and I'll let the weather radio hear. Black Ops 2 saying they could still issue a PDS for rural areas. That's a true statement, so we could see if it's a PDS tornado warning after it does move out of this particular area here of Stonington. Yeah, still, I mean, that's something that I was saying. Caleb Chappell saying, hey, Tommy boy, hey, how you doing, Caleb? We got a big tornado on the ground here in Illinois. Don't worry. If you are in the St. Louis area, if you're in like the city of St. Louis around there, don't worry about it. This is up near Springfield, Illinois. Yeah, still a catastrophic tornado is possible here moving through, and then we do have a severe thunderstorm warning that's also in effect. This is going to be impacting Sherman, Williamsville, Elkhart, Broadwell, and Lincoln, and we can see all of those areas there that are going to get impacted by the central portion of the storm. The warning does expire at 6 p.m. That is when the warning is expected to expire. This tornado emergency is expected to expire within the next 5 minutes or so, and it looks like the tornadic part of this storm may be dying down anyway. At least at this time, that's what it's looking like. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you do have any questions or comments or anything like that for me, please leave them in the chat. I'd be more than glad to answer them. Yeah, this tornado threat is expected to remain over the next couple of hours with this line of storms. This was something that MicroCasting St. Louis did make the call for, that the big threat for severe weather would be on the northern side of the St. Louis area. And that seems to be what's verifying right now. Black Ops 2 saying, how long will you be streaming for? That's actually a fantastic question. I'm not 100% sure about. I'm thinking 6 o'clock is tentatively when I'm going to end, and if not end, just put on the weather radio. At least for now, unless we do get another tornado emergency kind of thing, but that'll be expiring by 5:45, and then it doesn't look like much more is developing at the moment, so I don't see much of a reason to remain live after 6 o'clock. So yeah, still 20 more minutes of live streaming tentatively, but any of this could change. So still, none of it's set in stone. Yeah, I mean, this is at least for me, crazy situation. I'm surprised the Storm Prediction Center hasn't shrunken down this tornado watch yet and gotten rid of this portion of it, because I really think that they could do that. Yeah, there we are. This tornado emergency still in effect. This storm is actually almost out of that tornado emergency area, if we're being completely honest here. And yeah, I mean, that's definitely something to consider. So is this tornado still on the ground? I don't have much information. Keep an eye on the storm. Heading towards Petrolia, Illinois. Yeah, we might. I don't know where Petrolia is. I apologize. My geography isn't all that great. Yeah, I'd assume that we are referring to at least one of these storms in here. I'm keeping an eye on all of them, if I'm being quite frank with you. Even this one here. But yeah, I'm keeping an eye on as many of these as I can, but still, this tornado emergency. It's still astonishing to me that we got a tornado emergency today on the first day of December 2018. This is not something I was expecting. I actually started production of my top 10 weather events for St. Louis of 2018 production for the end of the year, and let me tell you, I think that one of those 10 is going to need to get cut out for this guy. If it does become an EF4, EF5, because that would be just crazy, because it did start within the St. Louis area. That's where the tornado touched down. But as it moved into Taylorville, just outside of the St. Louis area, that's when things really started to get gnarly, at least for us. So here it is. It's currently 5:42, and this tornado emergency will be expiring at 5:45. So it looks like we got 3 more minutes of this crazy town tornado emergency. Black Ops 2 saying, I do remember that derecho back in May. That was crazy. I remember covering that. That was a crazy storm. I was seeing severe thunderstorm warnings just up and down this entire chunk of St. Louis, and I remember when I went live for that, and it just kept marching and marching and marching southward. That was crazy. I only had my alternative to a marginal risk there for that day, and the Storm Prediction Center didn't even have a marginal risk for a while. I think that my moderate, or the Storm Prediction Center's slight, or my high risk Storm Prediction Center's enhanced would have been useful in this situation. I apologize for my voice cracking, but you know what? That's what I guess you're going to have to deal with if you want to watch me. And if you don't, then don't. But yeah, quite frankly, here we are. And there we are. There was even a tornado warning in eastern St. Charles and St. Louis County. Was there in that derecho? I'll have to check back and see. Remember, okay, so here we are with a new tornado warning. Has just been reissued for this. Still saying it's an observed tornado. That's until 6:15, as this tornado emergency is about to expire. This is a tornado warning for northeastern Christian County and southwestern Macon County. This is a particularly dangerous situation, and this is a radar-confirmed damaging tornado. Oh, you're talking about... Oh, you were talking about the tornado warning with Bruce then, right? Winter Storm Bruce. But yeah, we do have reissuance of this tornado warning. This is now full blown out of my area of coverage. But still, it's relatively crazy to me that we did have this in the first place. It's now 5:45, and that tornado emergency has expired. But still, this tornado warning in effect in its wake, still saying a large tornado is on the ground, and it looks like a debris ball has been detected by the National Weather Service, and that would be what's giving them that observed tornado. So still considerable damage is expected with this tornado, and I think it could be argued that this is going to be a bad tornado. Yeah. Black Ops 2, reiterating what I said before, this is still a particularly dangerous situation for this particular tornado. And again, definitely something that needs to be watched very, very closely. I am surprised that this is occurring. But then again, I mean, this is St. Louis after all, and we like to get as many different forms of weather at once as we possibly frickin' can. And I think this is one of those demonstrations where in the month of December we're seeing tornadoes near St. Louis. Yeah, we do have this nice trail of storm reports and even power flashes near Taylorville. So I think that Taylorville is going to be significantly damaged. We're going to see reports there. Straight line winds, 75-mile-an-hour straight line winds reported with the severe thunderstorm. So that severe thunderstorm warning now has 75-mile-an-hour wind gusts to worry about instead of just the 60 advertised by the National Weather Service. Yeah, still, this is a devastating tornado. And we'll just have to see if it's as bad as what I think it could have been. Alright, we are seeing that, keep in mind that the warning could be a tornado emergency for Decatur. At the moment, it doesn't say anywhere that it's a tornado emergency, so I do not think it's a tornado emergency, but you're right that it could get updated. K-Dog saying, down here in Florida we usually see severe weather in December, February through February because of the cold fronts. Yeah, and today you do have a tornado watch in effect down in Florida because of that. Yeah, here we are with this dangerous situation that has been imposed here due to this tornadic thunderstorm. So here we are. I do feel lucky that we did have that tornado emergency put in place before this did strike Taylorville, a densely populated area. Yeah, this is going to be headed up north here, and I'm not sure how long this is going to track, but this could be on the ground for the next while. And, I mean, if we're being honest here, who thinks this could become a tornado emergency again? I'm leaning towards no at the moment, but I'm thinking it's definitely plausible. Wait, was this tornado watch extended recently? No. This is what we're looking at right now when it comes to tornado warnings as of recently. Still, though, I can't believe that happened. That's unbelievable to me. Yeah, we'll see if then Daniel Penrod can make it back onto the live stream. But a part of me is unsure about that. So, you know, we'll just have to see. But still, a considerable tornado on the ground right now. And it does look to be a significant tornado. And we do have 1-inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds with a severe thunderstorm right next to it. So again, a violent tornado has been reported on the ground. If you guys have any pictures of that, that would be good. Just changed my new username, now Cooper W. So how you doing, Cooper? It's good to see you on the stream. But yeah, here we are, flooding now reported with this severe thunderstorm warning, although this is now within the National Weather Service of Lincoln's area of responsibility. Yeah, storm looks to be developing a hook again down here. I wouldn't be surprised. Again, the radar I have up here isn't the most detailed in the world. I should probably, if we're looking at all these warnings, shift to a different radar site, if we're being completely honest. And see, because I'm sure I can see this in much greater detail. Yeah, there we go, and a 8 tornado vortex signature is detected with this. And if we take a look at level 2 data from here, doesn't look like level 2 data wants to work for me anymore. But yeah, still. Crazy situation with that hook echo. If we do get any warnings down near St. Louis, obviously that'll take priority. But for now, this situation is definitely what I'm looking at most. Because I still find this quite crazy, what has occurred today. So, I mean, you can see it. Yep, new hook once again. Yes, there is now a hook echo on this again. So if you're in Harristown, Warrensburg, Forts, or Merrill, you need to be getting to cover right now. So here you are. It's currently an ETA around 6:20, 6:19. Before you could get impacted by this storm. So yeah, again, considerable tornado. Yeah, I'll probably be getting off of here at around the 6 o'clock time frame in about 10 minutes, as this is no longer within the St. Louis area, although a substantiated hook is back with this storm, and if you'd like, I can have the weather radio on here for the next little bit. Before I will have to turn it off due to me having to go somewhere. But yeah. Here we are. I will continue this stream until 6 o'clock. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, please let me know. Cooper W. saying it's crazy that only a slight risk of severe weather. That there is only a slight risk of severe weather while there is most likely an EF4 or a 5. Don't drive on Interstate 52. Black Ops 2 saying Cooper W. on the ground says and on. And then Black Ops correcting 52 to 72. Yeah, you don't want to be driving on 72. If you are on Interstate 72, you should not be driving on there if you are in between Decatur and Helenopolis, as this is going to be headed for Interstate 72. Unfortunately, I do not have exits for you, although I will hopefully get exits here in the 2019 revamp I'll be doing of MicroCasting St. Louis. Yeah, we'll just have to see what does happen there. Still a tornado emergency was in effect just a little while ago. And, yeah, I mean, re-upgrade to an emergency isn't all that unlikely, especially if this does move towards Decatur, where things could take a turn, a bad turn. But yeah, Taylorville is looking like they're probably going to get lots of damage. Strong hail core now showing. That is a true statement. I mean, look at that hail core. You're going to tell me that's not a strong hail core. I don't know what is. That is a hail core. They're saying most likely 1 inch or so of hail at this time with TVS and stuff right here. Data is loading in a little slow for me right now with this software for some reason. But hopefully things are fine for you guys. That hook's not looking good. No, it's not looking great, although this isn't the most detailed radar in the world, but you can see it there. If I unsmooth it, maybe it'll look better. Yeah, I'm not sure. But that's what it looks like when it's not smooth, when you got the raw data, and I think there it looks a little better. But, you know, take it for what you will. I think it looking smooth makes it look a little nicer. I mean, you never know. This is the hybrid scan, and this is the base, so The base reflectivity, basically saying, yeah, this is where the rain is, this is where the hook echo is. So, I think that the tornado is probably deteriorating. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, still, it's crazy to think that a tornado emergency was on this live coverage. New extensions of the severe thunderstorm warning have just occurred, although now we are well out of my area here. That tornado watch has now been chopped off a good bit. And yeah, it looks as if the vast majority of this activity will be occurring. Now, within the remainder of this tornado watch, I don't see much more really coming out of this than that. Black Ops 2 saying also there's quite a bit going on with Winter Storm Carter as well. I'm sure that there is, if we turn on the national radar, Carter is going to be basically dipping down into Kansas. I mean, the same system that is producing all this severe weather over here is a Winter Storm Carter. Winter Storm Carter and the system are the same. They are one and the same. The system that's produced this tornado, this large tornado, is also Winter Storm Carter. It's honestly kind of insane how weather can scale like that. But that is the kind of capabilities that weather systems do have. Alright, well, it's currently 5:56. I got 4 minutes before I will be going here. Yeah, we just have to see what exactly does happen. Yeah, it looks like I will be getting NOAA weather radio on to you here in short order. And when I do get that weather radio on to you, it'll be great. Cooper W saying, what a crazy night. This has definitely been a crazy evening. And remember that hook echo we were saying wasn't looking as good? Now it looks fantastic. Look at that hook. Look at that hook. And tell me that does not look great. Oh my goodness. You got the well-defined debris ball now. I mean, this is a frickin' debris ball. And you got the rest of the storm right here. This is definitely re-strengthened at this point, and I wouldn't be surprised if another tornado emergency does go into effect for it. I mean, holy smokes. That looks great. Weird tornado watch in central Georgia. Has that been issued? Oh. That tornado watch was extended, even though there hasn't been a single warning issued down there in frickin' ever. I don't understand why they're issuing that. But yeah, Black Ops 2 saying, yep, we got a debris ball, and we sure do with this thing. This is crazy. This is honestly absolutely astonishing to me that this tornado is not just going into lowering energy, but it's still going, and it's going very, very strong. I mean, that's just crazy. So I'm going to tell you, if you're in the following areas, take cover now. I'm going to track this out for you from the debris ball. Here it is. It's moving at around 33 miles an hour. So if we are moving at about 33, and we are at about the 28, there we are. So if you're in Harristown, Waringburg, Flora, Ephemera, or Clinton, you need to be taking cover right now. This is headed in your direction, and this new radar scan making this look even better. The hail core is even stronger. The debris ball is still there. It's just crazy. Cooper W saying most likely an EF5, and Black Ops 2 saying that looks very intense. Yes, this is exceptionally intense, and definitely something that needs to be watched. I mean, seriously, my goodness. My goodness. I mean, I would not be surprised if this is an EF5 on the end of things. I mean, yeah, this looks like one of those Oklahoma tornadoes that you'd get. But instead, it's in Illinois. Here we are, 5:59, 1 minute away from the St. Louis Weather Radio. This will not. St. Louis Weather Radio will probably not be covering this tornado, as it is outside of St. Louis. But it will produce a tone and let you know if any warnings within the St. Louis area do occur. So here, actually, let me ask you, would you rather have the Lincoln radio, the Lincoln, Illinois Weather Radio broadcasting about this tornado, Or would you rather have the St. Louis weather radio in case something does happen down there? Again, that's your call. Cooper W saying Lincoln. We'll see here if Black Ops 2 is still watching, what he thinks. I'm sure he has an opinion on it. Black Ops 2 saying, hold on one sec. There we go. Alright, well, I'll be waiting for Black Ops 2 here real quickly, and then I will be getting that Lincoln weather radio. Alright, I got some bad news, folks. It looks like Broadcastify, my source for weather radio stuff, says that Lincoln, Nebraska is currently unavailable. So unfortunately, I am going to have to go with St. Louis anyway. Alright, well folks, thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy, and now I'm going to be going to weather radio. And Black Ops 2, I will answer your question in chat. If you do have something you want to tell me, feel free to tell me it in chat or something. Yeah, folks, thank you so much. I'm going to turn on the weather radio.
Take immediate action when a warning is issued or when you feel threatened. Remember, the actions you take during a tornado event may save your life and the lives of those you are responsible for. A tornado watch means conditions are favorable for the development of severe thunderstorms which can produce tornadoes in and close to the watch area. If you are in the watch area, keep informed of the latest weather information. These storms can develop rapidly, so there may be occasions when advance warning is not possible. A tornado warning means a tornado has been spotted or indicated by radar, and you should take immediate action to protect yourself and those around you. The current time is 6:02 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is NOAA, Weather Radio KDO 89 St. Louis, Missouri, broadcasting on 162.550 MHz. This program originates from the National Weather Service Forecast Office in St. Louis, Missouri, and serves parts of east central Missouri and southwest Illinois, including the St. Louis metro area and surrounding counties. Here is your National Weather Service forecast for the St. Louis metropolitan area, including the cities of St. Louis, St. Charles, Belleville, and surrounding communities. Tonight, breezy. Mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of showers in the evening, then partly cloudy after midnight. Low in the lower 40s. Southwest wind 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts to around 30 miles an hour. Sunday, breezy. Much cooler. Mostly cloudy. High in the upper 40s. Temperature steady or slowly falling in the afternoon. West wind 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts to around 30 miles an hour. Sunday night, cloudy. A 20% chance of rain, possibly mixed with snow and after midnight. Low in the mid-30s. West wind 10 to 15 miles an hour. Gusts up to 25 miles an hour in the evening. Monday, colder, cloudy. A 20% chance of rain and snow in the morning. High in the upper 30s. Northwest northwest wind around 10 miles an hour. Monday night, mostly cloudy. Low in the upper 20s. Northwest wind around 10 miles an hour. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. High in the mid-30s. Tuesday night, partly cloudy. Low in the mid-20s. Wednesday and Wednesday night, partly cloudy. High in the upper 30s. Low in the upper 20s. Thursday, mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of rain, possibly mixed with snow. High around 40. Temperature steady or slowly falling in the afternoon. Thursday night and Friday, partly cloudy. Low in the lower 20s. High in the lower 30s. Friday night, mostly cloudy with a 40% chance of snow. Low in the mid-20s. Saturday, mostly cloudy with a 50% chance of snow. High in the lower 30s. Again, the forecast for the St. Louis metropolitan area, including the cities of St. Louis, St. Charles, Belleville, and surrounding communities for tonight: breezy. Mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of showers in the evening, then partly cloudy after midnight. Low in the lower 40s. Southwest wind 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts to around 30 miles an hour. At 5 p.m. at Lambert Field in St. Louis, it was mostly cloudy with a temperature of 63 degrees. The dew point was 52, giving us a relative humidity of 67%. The wind was southwest at 10 miles an hour, and the pressure was 29.25 inches and rising. Elsewhere in the metro area, in Chesterfield it was partly cloudy and the temperature was 63. In Cahokia, it was mostly cloudy and 65 degrees. In St. Charles it was cloudy and 61. Across the region, light rain was falling in Columbia, Missouri, with a temperature of 49. In Quincy it was clear and 51 degrees. In Kansas City light rain was falling and the temperature was 42. It was cloudy in Springfield, Missouri, with a temperature of 50. In Rolla, it was cloudy and the temperature was 55. In Farmington it was 63 degrees. It was fair in Cape Girardeau, with 65 degrees. It was fair in Springfield, Illinois, with a temperature of 57. Once again in St. Louis, it was mostly cloudy, the temperature was 63 degrees and the wind was southwest at 10 miles an hour. Now here is the hazardous weather outlook for portions of eastern and central Missouri as well as west central and southwest Illinois. For tonight, scattered severe thunderstorms have developed near and east of the Mississippi River. The primary threats with these storms are large hail and damaging wind gusts. A few tornadoes will also be possible. The threat of severe weather will end by mid-evening. And now the extended outlook for the period Sunday through Friday. No hazardous weather is expected at this time. Spotter activation will likely be needed through the early evening hours. Safety rules for tornadoes. A tornado watch has been issued by the National Weather Service. In the interest of public safety, the following safety rules are provided. Public and commercial broadcast stations serving the affected area are asked to broadcast these safety messages frequently while the watch is in effect. The key to tornado survival is to be prepared and take immediate action when a warning is issued or when you feel threatened. Remember, the actions you take during a tornado event may save your life and the lives of those you are responsible for. A tornado watch means conditions are favorable for the development of severe thunderstorms which can produce tornadoes in and close to the watch area. If you are in the watch area, keep informed of the latest weather information. These storms can develop rapidly, so there may be occasions when advance warning is not possible. A tornado warning means a tornado has been spotted or indicated by radar, and you should take immediate action to protect yourself and those around you. The current time is 6:08 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is NOAA, Weather Radio KDO 89 St. Louis, Missouri, broadcasting on 162.550 megahertz. This program originates from the National Weather Service Forecast office in St. Louis, Missouri, and serves parts of east central Missouri and southwest Illinois, including the St. Louis metro area and surrounding counties. Here is your National Weather Service forecast for the St. Louis metropolitan area, including the cities of St. Louis, St. Charles, Belleville, and surrounding communities. Tonight, breezy. Mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of showers in the evening, then partly cloudy after midnight. Low in the lower 40s. Southwest wind 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts to around 30 miles an hour. Sunday, breezy. Much cooler. Mostly cloudy. High in the upper 40s. Temperature steady or slowly falling in the afternoon. West wind 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts to around 30 miles an hour. Sunday night, cloudy. A 20% chance of rain, possibly mixed with snow and after midnight. Low in the mid-30s. West wind 10 to 15 miles an hour. Gusts up to 25 miles an hour in the evening. Monday, colder, cloudy. A 20% chance of rain and snow in the morning. High in the upper 30s. Northwest wind around 10 miles an hour. Monday night, mostly cloudy. Low in the upper 20s. Northwest wind around 10 miles an hour. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. High in the mid-30s. Tuesday night, partly cloudy. Low in the mid-20s. Wednesday and Wednesday night, partly cloudy. High in the upper 30s. Low in the upper 20s. Thursday, mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of rain, possibly mixed with snow. High around 40. Temperature steady or slowly falling in the afternoon. Thursday night and Friday, partly cloudy. Low in the lower 20s. High in the lower 30s. Friday night, mostly cloudy with a 40% chance of snow. Low in the mid-20s. Saturday, mostly cloudy with a 50% chance of snow. High in the lower 30s. Again, the forecast for the St. Louis metropolitan area, including the cities of St. Louis, St. Charles, Belleville, and surrounding communities for tonight, breezy. Mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of showers in the evening, then partly cloudy after midnight. Low in the lower 40s. Southwest wind 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts to around 30 miles an hour. At 6 p.m. at Lambert Field in St. Louis, it was mostly cloudy with a temperature of 61 degrees. The dew point was 44, giving us a relative humidity of 53%. The wind was west at 17 miles an hour, and the pressure was 29.29 inches and rising. Elsewhere in the metro area, in Chesterfield it was cloudy and the temperature was 61. In Belleville it was 63 degrees. In Cahokia, it was cloudy and 63 degrees. In St. Charles it was mostly cloudy and 60. Across the region, it was cloudy in Columbia, Missouri, with a temperature of 48. In Quincy it was cloudy and 53 degrees. In Kansas City it was cloudy and the temperature was 41. It was cloudy in Springfield, Missouri, with a temperature of 51. In Rolla, it was cloudy and the temperature was 51. In Farmington it was 60 degrees. It was fair in Cape Girardeau, with 62 degrees. A thunderstorm was reported in Springfield, Illinois, with a temperature of 55. Once again in St. Louis, it was mostly cloudy. The temperature was 61 degrees and the wind was west at 17 miles an hour. Now here is the hazardous weather outlook for portions of eastern and central Missouri as well as west central and southwest Illinois. For tonight, scattered severe thunderstorms have developed near and east of the Mississippi River. The primary threats with these storms are large hail and damaging wind gusts. A few tornadoes will also be possible. The threat of severe weather will end by mid-evening. And now the extended outlook for the period Sunday through Friday. No hazardous weather is expected at this time. Spotter activation will likely be needed through the early evening hours. Safety rules for tornadoes. A tornado watch has been issued by the National Weather Service. In the interest of public safety, the following safety rules are provided. Public and commercial broadcast stations serving the affected area are asked to broadcast these safety messages frequently while the watch is in effect. The key to tornado survival is to be prepared and take immediate action when a warning is issued or when you feel threatened. Remember, the actions you take during a tornado event may save your life and the lives of those you are responsible for. A tornado watch means conditions are favorable for the development of severe thunderstorms which can produce tornadoes in and close to the watch area. If you are in the watch area, keep informed of the latest weather information. These storms can develop rapidly, so there may be occasions when advance warning is not possible. A tornado warning means a tornado has been spotted or indicated by radar, and you should take immediate action to protect yourself and those around you. The current time is 6:14 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is NOAA, Weather Radio KDO 89 St. Louis, Missouri, broadcasting on 162.550 megahertz. This program originates from the National Weather Service Forecast Office in St. Louis, Missouri, and serves parts of east central Missouri and southwest Illinois, including the St. Louis metro area and surrounding counties. Here is your National Weather Service forecast for the St. Louis metropolitan area, including the cities of St. Louis, St. Charles, Belleville, and surrounding communities. Tonight, breezy. Mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of showers in the evening, then partly cloudy after midnight. Low in the lower 40s. Southwest wind 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts to around 30 miles an hour. Sunday, breezy. Much cooler. Mostly cloudy. High in the upper 40s. Temperature steady or slowly falling in the afternoon. West wind 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts to around 30 miles an hour. Sunday night, cloudy. A 20% chance of rain, possibly mixed with snow and after midnight. Low in the mid-30s. West wind 10 to 15 miles an hour. Gusts up to 25 miles an hour in the evening. Monday, colder, cloudy. A 20% chance of rain and snow in the morning. High in the upper 30s. Northwest wind around 10 miles an hour. Monday night, mostly cloudy. Low in the upper 20s. Northwest wind around 10 miles an hour. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. High in the mid-30s. Tuesday night, partly cloudy. Low in the mid-20s. Wednesday and Wednesday night, partly cloudy. High in the upper 30s. Low in the upper 20s. Thursday, mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of rain, possibly mixed with snow. High around 40. Temperature steady or slowly falling in the afternoon. Thursday night and Friday, partly cloudy. Low in the lower 20s. High in the lower 30s. Friday night, mostly cloudy with a 40% chance of snow. Low in the mid-20s. Saturday, mostly cloudy with a 50% chance of snow. High in the lower 30s. Again, the forecast for the St. Louis metropolitan area, including the cities of St. Louis, St. Charles, Belleville, and surrounding communities for tonight, breezy. Mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of showers in the evening, then partly cloudy after midnight. Low in the lower 40s. Southwest wind 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts to around 30 miles an hour. At 6 p.m. at Lambert Field in St. Louis, it was mostly cloudy with a temperature of 61 degrees. The dew point was 44, giving us a relative humidity of 53%. The wind was west at 17 miles an hour, and the pressure was 29.29 inches and rising. Elsewhere in the metro area, in Chesterfield it was cloudy and the temperature was 61. In Belleville it was 63 degrees. In Cahokia, it was cloudy and 63 degrees. In St. Charles it was mostly cloudy and 60. Across the region, it was cloudy in Columbia, Missouri, with a temperature of 48. In Quincy it was cloudy and 53 degrees. In Kansas City it was cloudy and the temperature was 41. It was cloudy in Springfield, Missouri, with a temperature of 51. In Rolla, it was cloudy and the temperature was 51. In Farmington it was 60 degrees. It was fair in Cape Girardeau, with 62 degrees. A thunderstorm was reported in Springfield, Illinois, with a temperature of 55. Once again in St. Louis, it was mostly cloudy. The temperature was 61 degrees and the wind was west at 17 miles an hour. Now here is the hazardous weather outlook for portions of eastern and central Missouri as well as west central and southwest Illinois. For tonight, scattered severe thunderstorms have developed near and east of the Mississippi River. The primary threats with these storms are large hail and damaging wind gusts. A few tornadoes will also be possible. The threat of severe weather will end by mid-evening. And now the extended outlook for the period Sunday through Friday. No hazardous weather is expected at this time. Spotter activation will likely be needed through the early evening hours. Safety rules for tornadoes. A tornado watch has been issued by the National Weather Service. In the interest of public safety, the following safety rules are provided. Public and commercial broadcast stations serving the affected area are asked to broadcast these safety messages frequently while the watch is in effect. The key to tornado survival is to be prepared and take immediate action when a warning is issued or when you feel threatened. Remember, the actions you take during a tornado event may save your life and the lives of those you are responsible for. A tornado watch means conditions are favorable for the development of severe thunderstorms which can produce tornadoes in and close to the watch area. If you are in the watch area, keep informed of the latest weather information. These storms can develop rapidly, so there may be occasions when advance warning is not possible. A tornado warning means a tornado has been spotted or indicated by radar, and you should take immediate action to protect yourself and those around you. The current time is 6:21 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is NOAA, Weather Radio KDO 89 St. Louis, Missouri, broadcasting on 162.550 megahertz. This program originates from the National Weather Service Forecast Office in St. Louis, Missouri, and serves parts of east central Missouri and southwest Illinois, including the St. Louis metro area and surrounding counties. Here is your National Weather Service forecast for the St. Louis metropolitan area, including the cities of St. Louis, St. Charles, Belleville, and surrounding communities. Tonight, breezy. Mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of showers in the evening, then partly cloudy after midnight. Low in the lower 40s. Southwest wind 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts to around 30 miles an hour. Sunday, breezy. Much cooler. Mostly cloudy. High in the upper 40s. Temperature steady or slowly falling in the afternoon. West wind 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts to around 30 miles an hour. Sunday night, cloudy. A 20% chance of rain, possibly mixed with snow and after midnight. Low in the mid-30s. West wind 10 to 15 miles an hour. Gusts up to 25 miles an hour in the evening. Monday, colder, cloudy. A 20% chance of rain and snow in the morning. High in the upper 30s. North Northwest wind around 10 miles an hour. Monday night, mostly cloudy. Low in the upper 20s. Northwest wind around 10 miles an hour. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. High in the mid-30s. Tuesday night, partly cloudy. Low in the mid-20s. Wednesday and Wednesday night, partly cloudy. High in the upper 30s. Low in the upper 20s. Thursday, mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of rain, possibly mixed with snow. High around 40. Temperature steady or slowly falling in the afternoon. Thursday night and Friday, partly cloudy. Low in the lower 20s. High in the lower 30s. Friday night, mostly cloudy with a 40% chance of snow. Low in the mid-20s. Saturday, mostly cloudy with a 50% chance of snow. High in the lower 30s. Again, the forecast for the St. Louis metropolitan area, including the cities of St. Louis, St. Charles, Belleville, and surrounding communities for tonight. Breezy. Mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of showers in the evening, then partly cloudy after midnight. Low in the lower 40s. Southwest wind 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts to around 30 miles an hour. Here is your National Weather Service forecast for the St. Louis metropolitan area, including the cities of St. Louis, St. Charles, Belleville, and surrounding communities. Tonight, breezy. Mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of showers in the evening, then partly cloudy after midnight. Low in the lower 40s. Southwest wind 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts to around 30 miles an hour. Sunday, breezy. Much cooler. Mostly cloudy. High in the upper 40s. Temperature steady or slowly falling in the afternoon. West wind 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts to around 30 miles an hour. Sunday night, cloudy. A 20% chance of rain, possibly mixed with snow and after midnight. Low in the mid-30s. West wind 10 to 15 miles an hour. Gusts up to 25 miles an hour in the evening. Monday, colder, cloudy. A 20% chance of rain and snow in the morning. High in the upper 30s. Northwest wind around 10 miles an hour. Monday night, mostly cloudy. Low in the upper 20s. Northwest wind around 10 miles an hour. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. High in the mid-30s. Tuesday night, partly cloudy. Low in the mid-20s. Wednesday and Wednesday night, partly cloudy. High in the upper 30s. Low in the upper 20s. Thursday, mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of rain, possibly mixed with snow. High around 40. Temperature steady or slowly falling in the afternoon. Thursday night and Friday, partly cloudy. Low in the lower 20s. High in the lower 30s. Friday night, mostly cloudy with a 40% chance of snow. Low in the mid-20s. Saturday, mostly cloudy with a 50% chance of snow. High in the lower 30s. Again, the forecast for the St. Louis metropolitan area, including the cities of St. Louis, St. Charles, Belleville, and surrounding communities for tonight. Breezy. Mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of showers in the evening, then partly cloudy after midnight. Low in the lower 40s. Southwest wind 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts to around 30 miles an hour. At 6 p.m. at Lambert Field in St. Louis, it was mostly cloudy with a temperature of 61 degrees. The dew point was 44, giving us a relative humidity of 53%. The wind was west at 17 miles an hour, and the pressure was 29.29 inches and rising. Elsewhere in the metro area, in Chesterfield it was cloudy and the temperature was 61. In Belleville it was 63 degrees. In Cahokia, it was cloudy and 63 degrees. In St. Charles it was mostly cloudy and 60. Across the region, it was cloudy in Columbia, Missouri, with a temperature of 48. In Quincy it was cloudy and 53 degrees. In In Kansas City, it was cloudy and the temperature was 41. It was cloudy in Springfield, Missouri, with a temperature of 51. In Rolla, it was cloudy and the temperature was 51. In Farmington, it was 60 degrees. It was fair in Cape Girardeau, with 62 degrees. A thunderstorm was reported in Springfield, Illinois, with a temperature of 55. Once again in St. Louis, it was mostly cloudy. The temperature was 61 degrees and the wind was west at 17 miles an hour. Now here is the hazardous weather outlook for portions of eastern and central Missouri as well as west central and southwest Illinois. For tonight, scattered severe thunderstorms have developed near and east of the Mississippi River. The primary threats with these storms are large hail and damaging wind gusts. A few tornadoes will also be possible. The threat of severe weather will end by mid-evening. And now the extended outlook for the period Sunday through Friday. No hazardous weather is expected at this time. Spotter activation will likely be needed through the early evening hours. Safety rules for tornadoes. A tornado watch has been issued by the National Weather Service. In the interest of public safety, the following safety rules are provided. Public and commercial broadcast stations serving the affected area are asked to broadcast these safety messages frequently while the watch is in effect. The key to tornado survival is to be prepared and take immediate action when a warning is issued or when you feel threatened. Remember, the actions you take during a tornado event may save your life and the lives of those you are responsible for. A tornado watch means conditions are favorable for the development of severe thunderstorms which can produce tornadoes in and close to the watch area. If you are in the watch area, keep informed of the latest weather information. These storms can develop rapidly, so there may be occasions when advance warning is not possible. A tornado warning means a tornado has been spotted or indicated by radar, and you should take immediate action to protect yourself and those around you. The current time is 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is NOAA, Weather Radio KDO 89 St. Louis, Missouri, broadcasting on 162.550 megahertz. This program originates from the National Weather Service Forecast Office in St. Louis, Missouri, and serves parts of east central Missouri and southwest Illinois, including the St. Louis metro area and surrounding counties. Here is your National Weather Service forecast for the St. Louis metropolitan area, including the cities of St. Louis, St. Charles, Belleville, and surrounding communities. Tonight, breezy. Mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of showers in the evening, then partly cloudy after midnight. Low in the lower 40s. Southwest wind 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts to around 30 miles an hour. Sunday, breezy. Much cooler. Mostly cloudy. High in the upper 40s. Temperature steady or slowly falling in the afternoon. West wind 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts to around 30 miles an hour. Sunday night, cloudy. A 20% chance of rain, possibly mixed with snow and after midnight. Low in the mid-30s. West wind 10 to 15 miles an hour. Gusts up to 25 miles an hour in the evening. Monday, colder, cloudy. A 20% chance of rain and snow in the morning. High in the upper 30s. Northwest wind around 10 miles an hour. Monday night, mostly cloudy. Low in the upper 20s. Northwest wind around 10 miles an hour. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. High in the mid-30s. Tuesday night, partly cloudy. Low in the mid-20s. Wednesday and Wednesday night, partly cloudy. High in the upper 30s. Low in the upper 20s. Thursday, mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of rain, possibly mixed with snow. High around 40. Temperature steady or slowly falling in the afternoon. Thursday night and Friday, partly cloudy. Low in the lower 20s. High in the lower 30s. Friday night, mostly cloudy with a 40% chance of snow. Low in the mid-20s. Saturday, mostly cloudy with a 50% chance of snow. High in the lower 30s. Again, the